What's up, guys? These are all my pulls from the tournament this weekend. Same place where Matt and Yordan Tsonev had a match. So, this first match, I'm gripping up with, I think his name is Emiliano. So, he looks jacked, right? And right away, I tried to just throw him off in the setup, just be like a dick, basically, and try to not give up anything. And he didn't like it. You can see me, he pinned me there, and then he started squeezing really hard on me. And I try to roll out of it, because usually that kind of works where if it's on my side before the go, I can roll out like in the setup when we're both like kind of jockeying around, but it didn't work. And I felt like a brick wall, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm so fucked. But then I kind of like let up and complained. They got a new setup, and with the flat wrist, I was loading as hard as I can, and off the go, I was just like, okay, like, I didn't know what was gonna happen, right? And then it happened, and I took his wrist somehow, and then from there, I had a fair bit of like hand control in terms of like I had a good grip on him, so I didn't want to let go right away. See if I can do a little exploding hand thing and tire him out or something, but it wasn't going anywhere, and Paul was like, let it go, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna tire myself out. So I let it go, and then the straps, I was more relaxed, but also trying to climb up slowly and rising a lot. But he didn't seem to actually complain that much, which is surprising. And then you see I put my leg up at first, and then I was like, I'm gonna top roll. Like, why would I? Maybe it's better to just put it down. So I changed my stance last minute. So you can see I was still kind of like flustered, like I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like really excited. But yeah, same thing in the straps. I loaded back pressure so hard as I could, and I couldn't believe I was allowed to load that much because it was like doing a max. And I was like, okay, there's no way he can just cup this much pressure that I'm putting and just pin me. So it made me feel a lot like confident, solid in the setup, and then I was actually able to top roll him. Okay, I'm getting behind. So second match of the Chan, and I knew his hand is super strong, but I didn't want to, like, I wanted to try to slip out. So again, messing around a bit in the setup, complaining about the thumb, loading as hard as I could before they go, and they're gonna say go soon. And here you can see I slipped under, and it actually looks pretty good, right? But I haven't like done too many competitions, but it felt awful, like my riser just getting like crushed like that. I was like, fuck, that is hard on my wrist. And originally I was thinking in the straps I would top roll him too, because out of straps there's no chance, but in straps my outside game is much stronger. But I was, after that slip, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna try to hit, like, go fully outside. So I was thinking more hook. Okay, we'll hook. And then in the first strap setup, it was really bad. The way the strap was wrapped around the back of my hand, it was so close to my knuckles. It felt like I was losing my hand before the go, and I was like, that's awful. And then the ref actually recognized it and then switched it back, which was like so helpful. And I was able to like wiggle around and get a much better grip. See, yeah, right there, you can see that's really bad, to be honest. Although I don't know what the rules are with that, because like technically the refs can do whatever they want, right? I don't know if you're allowed to like argue about like the small differences in the strap. But yeah, you see Chan had a whole like film crew with him. But yeah, but like I was gonna try give everything I had, regardless. So yeah, this time I put my leg up. I was thinking I'm gonna hook, so maybe it's okay. Honestly, I want to. It makes me feel more stable, but at the same time, I feel like I need to trust my side pressure, and because I notice on my left where I trust my side pressure a lot more, I'm able to start with my leg down, and it feels more comfortable than with my leg up. So I feel like there's something to it, and you see most people, like pro guys, doing that. So I want to switch to being able to just start with both feet down as well. Maybe wrapped around the table. But yeah, so this match, he took me. So at the beginning, it was kind of like the hand. I was able to like stop him from taking my wrist, and then I was holding, and then after he tried to surge a few times, it got sucked into a hook, and I was confident that if it went inside, I could win. And but then I tried to like push him over to the side a bit. Didn't work at all. And I was like, okay, this sucks. And I was a little bit getting nervous, but then he surged and my arm didn't budge, and it didn't wasn't painful or anything. So I was like, okay, I just need to be patient. And then thankfully, I think he stretched out too much and tried to like roll out or something. And I was able to get like a center table pin, which I'm always getting those weird center table pins instead of like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because everyone now tries the King's move, and once my wrist is bent, if you try to roll out, like, unless you're Alexander, like, I don't know, when I was pulling John Luo, like, my wrist was fully bent, and he was trying to roll out, and I was thinking in my head, like, seriously, like, it's not gonna work. So, and I think that just applies to everyone, like, you can't roll out like that. But anyways, this is a second match. So the slip felt actually really good. He was like injured. He was like had ice on his elbow the whole time before the match. But then he outclimbed me a bit, and then I just had to dump out. So I feel like a missed opportunity slightly there. But in the straps, I felt so good in the setup. I felt like I had everything. I was able to sneak little adjustments before the go. And both of us were a little bit pronated, like lost our wrist slightly. But then he kind of gained more hand control, gained more cup basically. And I was like, well, his arm didn't feel strong at all. So I was thinking my side pressure, just like pronated side pressure, felt like it wasn't gonna work. So I tried to come forward and just press down on it, and it felt pretty comfortable. Honestly, I felt like there was no way, at least from where I was, that like I didn't feel super threatened that he would just like throw me to the side. But at the same time, I pushed pretty hard, and it wasn't going close to the pad. It was pretty close, but not close enough. So I was like, okay. And I think at one point I heard Paul say elbow foul, and I don't know if that meant he thought the other guy fouled or just I thought he was telling me to foul, and I was really thinking about it, but I didn't. But then he ended up fouling. So at this point, I was like, okay, like I'm still in this. I thought I just screwed up a bit, right? But at the same time, I was so pumped that my wrist was completely gone. So he took me almost straight to the pad. And I talked to him afterwards. He said, yeah, the first match I was afraid to hit. The second match I hit. So that was also probably different. Hit like sideways. But yeah, that was like incredibly disappointing for me, to be honest, right after I just felt really shitty, just because like I felt that I was in the match, and I felt that I was stronger. At least like, yeah, I honestly, I'll just be honest, like, right, and I'm like being disrespectful, I just want to have some confidence, right? So I felt stronger, and I felt like if I arm wrestled correctly, I could have won that match. And that never happened to me before, because I've only competed a few times, and it's always been like quick pins or quick losses, right? So yeah, that was really sucky feeling. It just made me feel like a complete amateur, didn't know what I was doing on the table. And it doesn't look terrible when you look at here, but just in my mind, I was like, what do I do? Where do I go with my elbow? It just didn't feel as I don't know, like coordinated and smooth as I wanted it to be. But whatever. So here I'm facing the guy I faced first again. And at this point, I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to place in the tournament anyways. I didn't care. And then, because I think the smart thing to do would have been to try to slip again. But like I said, my wrist felt like it was gone. And I hate that feeling of trying to slip out of someone's hand where it's like you're running away from them. And a lot of times it doesn't work out, or, you know, your wrist gets like crushed, like the guy gets like crushed down on your wrist. So, and I just felt that I couldn't top roll with anyone. At that point, I just felt that I couldn't top roll. And I just really wanted to have like a bang inside with someone, because that was still pretty fresh. And speaking of banging inside, like with the guy with the glasses, Benjamin, I think maybe if I had tried hooking, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think actually if I had tried hooking, it would have been a better choice. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't have been easy either. I don't think he might have been able to like sort of roll my wrist if I try to come forward like that. But anyways, the last match, I really wanted him to just come inside with me. Obviously, like I can't tell him what to do in the tournament. I was just like, I'm not gonna run. I'll just try to see if I can. I just wanted to come inside and just bang it. It didn't work out. Felt a little stop at the bottom, but way too close to the pad, and he was pretty comfortable. So just held him up for like 2 seconds, and then that was that. So, man, I'm surprised how much I have to say about each match, because I thought 10-minute video, maybe, you know, I won't have enough things to say, but honestly, I could go on for maybe a bit more than I did on this video, and I think I'm gonna make a video soon about like all the competitions I've had from the beginning, because I remember I made a progress like thing a while back where I grabbed some clips from all the YouTube channels around the Table Monkeys, so maybe my first 6 or 7 practices, and to see my progress, and I think it's pretty noticeable. So I was gonna make another video where basically after that first part, I have my first super match with Mike, which was I think my first competitive pull ever, and then I have my first PAL amateur tournament, which there's no footage of, so that I can skip that, and then I have provincials. No, I have the 5v5. Yes, I have no. PA was after that. That's crazy. So I guess I pulled the 5v5 tournament after I pulled Mike. I'm surprised that they let me pull that, as I don't know what I did to like prove myself at that point. But so I do have footage from the 5v5 tournament, and then PAL amateur tournament, and then provincials, which I have footage from provincials. And I mean, I don't have footage. Top Troll and all these people have it for me, but they're great, so hopefully I can use it. And then the recent Vancouver tournament. So yeah, I just wanted to be able to like break down, you know, what I'm thinking and the setup and everything, because I think it's actually probably more important and more interesting to watch in terms of like following my actual journey, instead of like just like, I don't know, like what Umesh said, just like kind of skipping through and seeing what exercises I'm doing. Like maybe if there's like 1 or 2 people that actually like, you know, care, that was like sort of more important piece of information than whatever workout I'm doing on a random day, right? So I really felt that was missing, because every competition I go to, I don't want to be filming it, because, or I don't even ask people to film for me, because I feel like when I know I'm like filming, because even if I know it's being filmed, it doesn't matter, but if I ask someone to film for me, it's like I have that in the back of my mind, where it's like you're just pulling for a camera instead of just like being focused. I feel like it takes away from my focus, like being able to like appreciate the moment more in its entirety. So I don't want to do it. So what happens is I'll post the practice, training, and then, you know, competition, and then there'll be zero footage in my YouTube, right? So I just always felt that it was missing, and I wanted to add that part, even retroactively, I guess. So what was I saying? So I was basically like went off on this tangent because I just realized I had so much to say about competition, because I talk about training like so much that it's like, okay, like you're saying the same thing almost, and I've like said a lot of things that, you know, I've wanted to say over the course of, you know, 80 videos. But in terms of competition, to the setup, how I feel, my mentality, there's a lot of things that I'd like to get into that I haven't fully. But yeah, this video is getting way too long, so I'm gonna cut it here. Maybe that progress video will come out soon over the next week, and thanks for watching.